You should have stopped for gas. Oh, maybe they did. We are westbound Slauson from the 5, and we are definitely in Pico Rivera. Copy, thank you. Hey, internet people. I wish I... Okay, never mind. I'm here, I'm ready. No. It was a red light. The vehicle got off the freeway. It's been running from officers from. It started out in the Orange County area. Earlier on, I heard Jeff saying that buckle in. Here we go for another one. You know what? Always buckle in. You want to always be safe, but this one just does not have that same rushing to get away type of appeal. We understand as a female driver, they understand it's a Ford Focus. California Highway Patrol, they're the ones pursuing it. It got off the 5 freeway. It was going north on the 5 for quite some time. Officers on the ground actually lost the vehicle for a few moments. Helicopter up above was working with some other agencies, reestablished this pursuit. You can see one unit from the California Highway Patrol behind that vehicle. Speeds less than 30 miles an hour right now as we're working our way westbound on Slauson, leaving the Pico Rivera area, getting into the Commerce area. You know, at these speeds, you'd think that maybe they might do a pit maneuver. Now he's being joined by another California Highway Patrol. That might have been one of the reasons why they were waiting to try to do something to stop this pursuit. Earlier on, it did start in the Orange County area. Buena Park was the agency that was actually behind it. But once it got onto the freeway, California Highway Patrol took it over. Right now, moving kind of slowly out here westbound on Slauson, but you can see that vehicle failing to yield still. California Highway Patrol has one backup unit behind it. Perhaps they might be waiting for one more, but pit maneuver at these speeds, it does look like it's definitely a possibility.
Like you said, but now it's very bizarre. This female driver that is leading the CHP on this slow speed pursuit is somewhat obeying some of the traffic signals and signs. She had actually stopped at a red light earlier when we picked up the pursuit and waited for it to turn green. Now she's sitting here again at another light with the rest of the traffic and will probably just take off again. Stu, is there a possibility that maybe CHP will just back off from this altogether? We've seen that as of late with LAPD and some of the other law enforcement, so that they don't put some of the other innocent people on the streets in danger. This is a slow speed chase. At least that is the good news. She's not currently putting people in danger with high speeds.
Well, you know, Elsa, they didn't want to give this car up. That's part of the earlier on when this chase started in the Orange County area. They didn't want to give it up. Many times we'll hear the agencies, you know, basically saying, "Oh, do you want to, you know, do you want to hand it off? Do we? What's the watch commander saying?" In this case, they wanted this vehicle stopped. Understand that right now we're over by Garfield. They're still northbound on Slauson. That vehicle definitely doing obeying traffic signals, that's for sure, but not yielding. California Highway Patrol, they've got two vehicles behind it. There's been some law enforcement. There's another black and white back there, but that doesn't seem to be a California Highway Patrol vehicle. Even though they are in the understanding that there may only be one person inside that car, the driver described only right now as a female, they might still be waiting for more backup. They might want to have at least one more California Highway Patrol officer behind this vehicle before they try to do something with the pit maneuver. That's just policy. Right now, though, they probably have another unit trying to get into position, trying to get that actual location and join them. Right now, the California Highway Patrol, the light is from their helicopter. The vehicles are on the ground. This car driving slow enough, we've learned in the past, for talking to some awesome California Highway Patrol officers that came and talked to us, basically that, 35 miles an hour-ish is what they want to do, no other vehicles on the road. That's kind of what we're seeing here, but that pit maneuver not taking place yet, probably because they're waiting for backup. That might sound a little strange, but policy is policy, and they have their rules, and they've got to follow them. Right now, though, this vehicle is still failing to yield, even though stopping at these stoplights. That doesn't mean that this person is obeying the law. It is not getting out, not pulling over, not giving up. So the chase continues. The original want, though, is I think our desk is still working on that, if they can.
We can bring you up to speed on that, Stu. Yeah, we do have some information from the assignment desk here at KCAL 9, so we'll give you just a real quick break and bring you up to speed on what's happening here. This is a Ford Focus. It's the center of the latest police pursuit, CHP, behind this female driver. We now understand that she is wanted for violating a restraining order and for, obviously, for not stopping once police tried to initiate that stop. This is, once again, CHP and a helicopter by CHP overhead. This is a live police pursuit that's happening right now at KCAL 9. And our early edition here, this all began in Buena Park, has gone through the cities of Norwalk, Montebello, Pico Rivera, and Commerce, and remains in Commerce at this point in time. This driver is not very aggressive as far as the speeds go, has gone through a few of the stop signs and stoplights, but has gone through pretty slowly. This has been kind of a slow speed chase. This driver typically, when she gets to an intersection, if there is a red light, will actually stop. And police, we don't know, have, well, now it looks like it's getting onto the highway. So let's go back upstairs to Stu Mundell. What highway is this, Stu?
This would be the 5 freeway northbound, and you can see that vehicle really starting to move out. We got the opportunity to play with some of our radios. We're really in the loop right now. We know what's going on. California Highway Patrol was trying to get some other units in place. They were that's what they were waiting for. But those units apparently not there, didn't get there in time. That vehicle getting back onto the 5 freeway, and you saw that almost what you would almost call a desperate move. Ran that red light, zipped onto the freeway. Northbound 5 is where we are right now. 710 is coming up, but she's been basically just staying on the major freeway. So we'll see. We'll wait and see, like we always do, what's going to happen when they have those interchanges. Right now, though, it does seem like she's choosing more of the left lanes. Left lanes, that means we're going to stay here. Traffic, I can tell you, there is traffic up ahead. It's basically what we kind of see this for the evening traffic. Nothing it's not gridlocked. Let's just leave it at that. Not gridlocked. Another California Highway Patrol vehicle right there, driving right by it. Probably going to fall into place. They're going to join this chase. On the freeway, maybe they'll do the pit, especially if the speeds allow it. Starting to move a little bit quicker right there. You can see it. But traffic is going to be building as we get closer to downtown, as we get closer to the the East LA interchange. Definitely some traffic coming up. California Highway Patrol now it was in pursuit earlier. Now this looks more like what we're used to seeing. Car driving pretty fast, using the center lanes. We haven't seen any dramatic moves where it's weaving in and out of traffic, but telling you, traffic's going to build here on the 5, especially if we stay on it. And there may be other people involved, because if she's going to start to try to if she gets desperate, tries to get away, she's going to have to move in between a lot of these vehicles. Right now, though, it seems to be a little bit open, a little bit wide. Ford Focus is what she's in. Apparently, like you said, that was information for me. Thank you so much. A restraining order violation. So something maybe emotional might be going on here. It just adds to the tenseness, and it also adds to what the California Highway Patrol have to deal with this evening.
All right, so Stu, we have watched her go from speeds of maybe 20 miles per hour on the surface streets, obeying some of the traffic laws, stopping at red lights, leading CHP on a slow speed pursuit, to now hopping on the 5 freeway and barreling northbound on the 5 freeway, now in East LA, starting in Buena Park, ending up in the city of Commerce, hopping on the 5 freeway, now going through East LA. It seems as though she's had a change of heart and is now leading the CHP on a high-speed pursuit. Yeah,
quite a few police resources for this one here. You not only have a couple of units behind this Ford Focus and the driver there that you see on your screen, we also have a CHP helicopter overhead as well. Stu Mundell in our Sky 9 that's providing this live picture here. This all began just about 15-20 minutes ago here on KCAL 9. We had report of a woman who was violating a restraining order. That brought the police, and then she failed to stop, and then that began the police pursuit. A female driver behind the wheel of this Ford Focus. It started in Buena Park, has gone through Norwalk, Montebello, Pico Rivera, Commerce, now in East LA on the 5 northbound.
And Stu, how many CHP patrol cars are we seeing now? At first we saw just 2, thought maybe they were hanging back and maybe looking for an opportunity to do the pit maneuver. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 at least we just saw on that wide shot right now. Stu, what are you hearing up there?
Well, the opportunity for the pit out the window right now. As long as they're on the freeway with all the other vehicles in there, we're not going to see that pit maneuver. This person, a little bit emotional, maybe desperate. Possibly the drive time might relax her. You know, a lot of people think Los Angeles traffic is stressful. Well, it can be, but you know what? She's kind of just moving along out here. This might be able to clear some of her thoughts out. Maybe she'll get into a better mood, or maybe just pull over. Right now, though, California Highway Patrol right behind it, getting up on the East LA interchange. Is she going to stay on the 5? Maybe, maybe not. But look, I'm trying to figure that out right now. It's a big route of vehicles. A big route of freeways down there. We just don't want to lose her when she goes underneath one of those underpasses or overpasses. Right now, though, she might be choosing the 10. So we'll keep an eye on this for sure. Those higher speeds, they've kind of relaxed a little bit. She's going probably about the speed of traffic, so about 65 miles an hour. California Highway Patrol right behind her, though. They want to bring this to an end safely. Earlier on, we heard high speeds on surface streets. Very dangerous situation indeed. They've switched out the vehicles, so we did see a different type of car behind her right now. That's going to be one of the older Crown Victoria California Highway Patrol vehicles. So they probably switched, not agencies, but areas that they patrol. So possibly this is going to be the Los Angeles giving it up, handing it off from the Baldwin Park area, or sorry, Santa Fe Springs area. Right now, though, working our way through the interchange. We'll get you that direction here in just a moment. Just looking out the window, I'm guessing that we're going to continue northbound, possibly going to be staying on the 5 freeway.
Okay.
Well, she's coming up on a merging of a bunch of freeways. The time of night it is right now definitely does not mean that the traffic is going to be clear, although right now it looks pretty open for her. But once she starts getting towards the other freeways, we're going to see that traffic start to stack up here, Stu, and that's when things really start to change during a pursuit. Yeah,
you can see the police night sun landing on this pursuit vehicle right here. Female driver behind the wheel of this Ford Focus. You see in the center part of your screen, this all began in Buena Park on a report of violating a restraining order of that woman. Police showed up on the scene, and then she failed to stop, and we understand, using their terms, that she was fleeing in a white Ford Focus. And that's the vehicle that you see there. She has slowed down, Elsa, I would say, quite a little bit here on the highway. This is, I wouldn't guess that she's going highway speeds at this point in time. As you can see, there is quite a bit of a buffer between her and the traffic in front and behind. I would assume that the drivers are seeing the helicopter
60.
lights ahead, and the police officers red and blues behind, and they're probably hopefully giving a little bit of right away and pulling off to the right side of the road and giving her a little bit of room there.
And I'm sure, sadly, a lot of people around here know what that means when they see a spotlight on one car and a bunch of patrol cars in tow of this one driver. People here know what that means, and thankfully maybe that helps them get out of the way here. But you're right, she looks like she slowed down a little bit on the freeway. Stu, are you able to get a read or a calculation on her current speed right now?
Probably about 60 miles an hour. And you know, this is kind of interesting. Just because we're watching this, and a lot of other folks are watching as well, if she slows down like that, the traffic buffer is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Sometimes California Highway Patrol law enforcement will actually get ahead of the pursuit and make a block to create that buffer. There might not be any other vehicles on the roadway. This might give the opportunity for the California Highway Patrol to do something. That being said, there's a slower vehicle even in front of her, and some other ones merging on right now. So it's interesting when they slow down, they create this larger, they create this gap basically, because nobody's going to pass those officers, and if the traffic ahead of them gets ahead, they're going to have that gap. Right now, though, she's got a couple of other cars right with her, and you can see some other brakes brake lights coming on, probably people seeing those reds and blues, doing what they're supposed to do, get over to the right. That's what you're supposed to do when you see law enforcement. But right now, you see the freeway starting to really kind of open up because there is no other traffic because of her moving slow like she is. 62 is what we're tracking around right now in Sky 9. So, you know, they got the semi-truck over there, probably limited to 55. But this gives the opportunity possibly for law enforcement to do something, possibly for this driver just to get this gap and then maybe just really put her foot in that, put her foot on that gas and just go.
Well, you certainly have to be thankful for the fact that she's going that speed. You have to be thankful for the fact that she's going that speed, because so many times you see these pursuits, especially on the highway, they really start to ramp it up there a little bit and get above, you know, 100, 105 miles per hour. This driver here going just about the speed limit. And just to make note of this, Rachel Kim reported last Thursday here on KCAL 9 that there have been a total, this is as of Thursday, I'm not sure how many pursuits we've had since then, but 632 pursuits in the Southland so far this year. That was as of Thursday. And that was 115 more than they had this time last year. So this just adds on one more to that, as we've had a record number of pursuits this year, and it's certainly back in the thick of a pursuit again tonight. Obviously
becoming commonplace, obviously puts people in danger more often than not, but fortunately, as far as pursuits go, she's one of the slower ones. We can at least be thankful for that, for the innocent people there on the road, Stu. But right now, what are you hearing or thinking the strategy might be at this point? She's going somewhat safe freeway speeds right now, although she's failing to yield. Things look pretty wide open, and really, well, she is going to come up to some traffic here now that you pull out. What do you think the strategy is?
Well, I can tell you right now our location is we're just getting into the Elysian Park area. We're just passing over the 110 freeway right there. So we're northbound 5 passing over the 110, so she can't take the 110 anymore. Northbound 5, as I look out to the Los Feliz area, and it is really, really stacked up out there. I would almost say at some points, at some of those turns, it's gridlock. She's driving slower. This, you know, we just don't know. You know, you can never really kind of put your mind in that person who's running from law enforcement. So what is she thinking right now? Nobody really knows except for her. Officers from the California Highway Patrol, what they're looking for is safety. They want to make sure that the other people around that vehicle know that there's something going on. Try to keep the public at large safe at this time. You've said it, the car's not driving erratically at this moment, which is really good. It's a big plus for the officers and law enforcement, but they're still keeping an eye on that car. We don't know what other circumstances are involved. We understand there may have been some sort of restraining order, but there's obviously a reason why they didn't let this vehicle go, and they wanted to keep tabs on it. They wanted to bring this to an end. Right now, it's moving slowly, or it's actually moving a little faster than traffic right now. Northbound 5 freeway, Elysian Park is where we are still, but we're still moving our way north. North seems to be the direction of choice for her. That car moving slow. Sometimes you got to wonder, is it the car, is it the driver? But right now, all we can tell you, the pursuit continues. Northbound 5. This woman keeping the more than an arm's length from officers, law enforcement. California Highway Patrol, they might have some tricks up their sleeves, but right now that bag of tricks is a little bit limited just because of the heavy traffic, the time of the night that we have out here this evening. There's a lot of commuter traffic on the freeways, and that's going to really create some problems for the California Highway Patrol to bring this to an end the way they might want to.
Yeah, and this is, of course, the tail end of the afternoon rush hour. I'm going to say that might be a Ford Fusion instead of a Ford Focus. That appears to be the sedan, which is a little bit larger. I don't know if Stu, if you could see that, but it looks like that might be a Ford Fusion. Nonetheless, this is the latest Los Angeles police pursuit. CHP in pursuit of a female driver behind the wheel of that white car there, wanted for violating a restraining order and then failure to stop. This began in Buena Park and has gone through such cities as Norwalk, Montebello, Pico Rivera, Commerce, East LA, Boyle Heights, down Elysian Park. You see the primary CHP unit right there behind her, then a secondary SUV, probably a Ford Explorer, that is behind that primary Crown Vic unit. And we do believe that there's a third unit back behind this pursuit vehicle, as well as bird in the air for CHP. There's a helicopter above as well. And this is, again, a Ford Focus, we believe, or Ford Fusion, a female driver fleeing in a not a stolen vehicle, but possibly her own vehicle, we do understand, after violating a restraining order and then also having a failure to stop.
Yeah, obviously at this point she's broken multiple traffic laws there, Stu, but that's the least of her concerns right now. Right now, she is in quite a bit of trouble for violating a restraining order and leading the CHP on a pursuit. Okay, she's really slowing down. Are we coming up to traffic? We are coming up to traffic here on these transitions. She's at the 2 and the 5, right?
Yeah, well, we're coming up. That's right. We're coming up to the 2 and the 5, and the 2 is always a really great take. Just letting you guys know if you want to go north. Right now, though, you can see the other vehicles doing what they're supposed to, creating that little bit of an opening right there. I just got scolded by the people to be, the people around us, and I'm just letting you know it's not the Highway Patrol's helicopter overhead.
Oh.
It's going to be the Sheriff's Department that's lighting them up right now.
But it is CHP on the ground. It is CHP on the ground.
Definitely,
yes.
Definitely CHP on the ground. But the helicopter's in the air right now. Is going to be the Sheriff's Department that is using their light right now. You can see those slower speeds. You can also see people moving out of the way, which is really it's something to see in Los Angeles. It just shows that people are trying to obey the laws. They're supposed to move to the right, not to the left. But it is creating a lot of opening out here in these slower speeds. And no other vehicles ahead of them right now, or almost none. This would have been the time to make that kind of move, but California Highway Patrol, they are the professionals. They know what's going on. They're not making those moves quite yet. This vehicle is still kind of moving slowly this evening, just kind of trucking along here at traffic speeds is about the only way to say it. Just enough space to keep that California Highway Patrol behind them. She obviously sees this in the window. We know that she's a female driver. That's the information that we got from the California Highway Patrol earlier on. There's some question if there's somebody else in the car with her. I haven't gotten that confirmation as of yet. Right now, though, northbound on the 5, getting up very close to the Los Feliz area. Glendale off-ramp coming up as well. Traffic really starting to build out here this evening. And it may give them the opportunity to bring this to an end, and it may actually create some more problems. We're just going to keep an eye on it, just like everybody else, and just hope for the best. Vehicle moving very slowly this evening, very cautiously, as this failure to yield pursuit, California Highway Patrol northbound 5 continues.
Yeah, and it continues to be at the center of your screen right there. CHP pursuit on the ground, LA County Sheriff's Department in the air, and the helicopter there. I do see that emergency lane, the shoulder, if you will, on the left-hand side appears to be open as this unit is getting up to pace with the pursuit vehicle, whether he's going to try something there.
Ahead there, yeah.
I wonder if that, what would that,
and
what would that alert you to?
They also cut the lights, Stu. What does this mean?
Does that mean that they are now in tracking mode?
No, you know what? This means that they are getting the word from their superiors to give it up. Just walk away. They're cleaning their hands of the situation. They turned off their lights. They actually got ahead of it for a little bit. You can see some LAPD down there, but they probably will not get behind it. We continue to see the California Highway Patrol doing as they're told. They're leaving the area. They're getting away from it. So this is going to become a different type of pursuit if we stay with it. Going to be a media pursuit is probably the best way to talk about it if we keep an eye on this car. She's been driving very cautiously this evening. They might have some information that they have confirmation on who she is and that it is her vehicle. That might be one of the reasons why. It was a restraining order violation. Don't know if there was any type of violence involved. Violence is usually one of the keys. If there's some violence involved, law enforcement will probably not let it go, or a weapon, probably not let it go. Right now, though, we're just keeping an eye on this vehicle as we're working our way northbound 5 in traffic this evening. A lot of traffic this evening. And we're going to keep an eye on it, but as it stands right now, it appears that all law enforcement, helicopter, ground units, everybody has departed the scene. Yeah,
and you know, there was really a lack of aggressive driving there as well. So if there was no violence related to the restraining order, although also these are felonies for the failure to stop and violating a restraining order. Great.
All right. You got the black and white down there? Oh, you don't have it either. It's okay. I'll find it. Where's everybody else at? All right. All right. I think that's it. No, that's the Prelude lights. Those lights are too flat. Well, it's been a day for me. I got to tell you guys that on the internet. I'm looking for this car, trying to find it right now. I lost it. We lost it. We didn't lose anything. I lost it. Let's put blame where it belongs. Right when he went underneath the Glendale off-ramp overpass there, I was keeping an eye on it, and then I just looked away, and then next thing you know, it was gone. I know that cruiser was one of my landmarks, and there was also a motorcycle out here as well. Right now, we're just kind of just picking around trying to find that car. That is that it? That's a Camry. That's not it. That looks like a Chevy product. Yeah, I'm telling everybody on the internet that I can't find it. We're looking for it. I lost it as it went underneath the Glendale overpass, so we're looking. I don't know where it's at. If you have any landmark, or is it near a semi-truck? Is it near an off-ramp? Anything would be helpful. No. No, I'm not, because I don't have the car. All right, well, we're going to try to find it. If you can give me any kind of anything, it would be helpful. Rick, I got the information, but I don't know where the car is. Oh, sure. All right. Anybody talking? Anybody got anything? Thank you. I'm allergic to losing vehicles. Yep. Come back down to the south a little bit. Okay. 30 to us. Ten seconds. Well, that's right. You know, and right now, I got to be honest, we lost that vehicle. We don't know exactly where it's at. We're getting some information from some viewers saying that it is left of a big truck. So we're looking at some of the big trucks northbound on the 5 freeway here, past the 134. Now, what we understand is that one of the reasons why they called this off was Buena Park PD talked to the California Highway Patrol. They said, we know who this person is, and we know exactly where she lives, and we have confirmation, and they believe that she will make her way back to Buena Park to her house where law enforcement will talk to her. Right now, though, the last we saw of her was northbound 5 freeway near the 2. Live in Sky 9, Stu Mandel. Back to you guys in the studio. What? Apparently they still have it. So, what do you want to do? It's all good. I mean, I'm not expecting that, but I'm just saying, all right, let's do it this way. Point them out. Where are they at? All right. So it's got to be somewhere right in here then, right? Right? Did it look like that car? All tinted? All right. Well, see, we're hearing that that's not it. So, what coming up on Western? We're at Olive already. Western is behind us. All right, well, let's do this then. Hang on. That's got all 10. No, it's this. Slower than everybody else. That's actually a good clue. She's got to be way north of Western by now. What do we got there? That is a Fusion, or no, that's not it, right? No, I don't think so. All right, even better. Are they just making that up? Get off at Olive. This one's Olive, isn't it? Which way on Olive? Which way are they going? All right. To the left? All right, all right, all right, all right, I believe you. Did she make the turn? They're not coming towards us, are they? Oh, they are? Oh, that's that one. Oh, there we go. Well, for what it's worth, we're the only ones still looking. That's what I'm saying. We're the only ones here. What do you want? I kind of know unless you have something else for us. Well, Interneters, I do appreciate the follow along with us, and you know what? I do appreciate all the no, it's not that one, it's this one, and moving around back and forth. Angelino in third. What makes you think it's at Angelino in third? Isn't that a police station? And they're all about the same size. That's definitely 3rd Street right there. Angelino, though, that's a tough one for me right now. Give me a second. That's Magnolia. And there's too many buildings. Well, that was exciting, huh? The cops are behind her with their lights on. Are you serious? I find that hard to believe. There's no cops down there. Shout out for the East Coast, brother. Thanks. All right, well, that's that. Sorry about all that. You know, well, you know what? I'm not sorry. I'll take the blame. But stuff happens. You know, it's just that simple. And you look away for 1 second, and somebody goes through under an underpass, and then the next thing you know, they're in the wind. So doing the multitasking up here, doing the mostest for y'all. That's for real. Trying to make it all happen. Sorry, though, that we did lose it. But in the end, they gave it up, and I don't think they're going to be picking her back up again anyway. So we're moving on back to Van Nuys, and scanners are on, and we'll find something else. And John, you know what? That's a tough one for me, too. I got to tell you, I don't know how to handle that. I wish I could talk to you guys when they're talking, so then at least we could have some conversation between the internet and us, but my mic's open, so it doesn't happen that way. But I feel you, brother. And but you know what? We're a team, and it's all about teamwork. And I think it's over. Non-Hotel with our tails between our legs, heading back to doing the walk of shame.